You have to do it. If you don't have that kind of feeling, I'd say don't pursue it as a career, because it's so hard and crazy, and you have to be willing to go through. So you just and then if you do, then okay, go all out, and study with somebody good and try to get in some plays, because theater's the greatest training for actors, and try to work with good people and keep learning and just keep doing it. And, and then, and try to hold on to that belief in yourself, which is the most important.
Now, speaking about like hardships, because obviously, acting or singing, there's going to be a lot of naysayers, haters. And, I myself have dealt with a lot of people who are uncouth. Let's just say uncouth.
Sure.
So what would be, you would say, the biggest hardship of your career that you overcame? Since we were talking a little bit about it can get very hard.
Yeah. Good question. It was very difficult for me after I left Happy Days, because the show was so popular. And I left 4 years before it ended. The show ran 11 seasons. And after my 7th season, my contract was up, and for various reasons, I decided not to renew. Same thing, Ron Howard didn't come back either, because he was wanting to pursue directing, which wonder whatever happened to that. No, I mean, he did okay. Ron did pretty good. Amazing what Ron did. So I knew that I was getting so associated with the show and with this character, because remember back then there was no cable, there was no internet. So when people were watching TV, it was mainly the 3 networks, either CBS, NBC, or ABC, and that was it. So when we were number 1, we had 50, 60 million people watching us on Tuesday nights. So, you get very associated in the industry. Typecast. And the industry has a tendency to do that more than the public. The public, I would say, oh, when are we going to see in something else? But the people in the industry play it very safe and close to the vest. It's like, oh, no, he's this type, and he's not right for this, that kind of thing. So it was very difficult a period for me to break out of that and show that I was an actor playing a role that was not like myself, because the character I played I was really not very much like that character. But I had to now prove that, and then prove that I had range to do many other things. So it took a while, and I'd peck away at it but there were times when I started, going, God, it was, am I ever going to be able to get past this? And am I going to be able to do the kinds of roles that I've wanted to do? And am I going to be able to get work? So there was some soul searching and difficult challenges during that period, but I just kept pecking away, and then slowly, I get a guest role in something very different, where I did a Star Trek Voyager 2-parter, and I played sort of the yeah, so that was very different kind of role. And then I played a psychiatrist in some other show, and then a hard metal rocker in another show.
What?
Yeah, well, they had me in I had all the makeup. I had all the makeup and long hair. And you go check it out on YouTube. If you look up, it was an episode of Chips, the show Chips. And look up Moloch was my character's name. Moloch.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to see this, because you're going through it. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see him in that. And then you're like, rocker?
Yeah. So check that out. And then I started doing more and more independent films and playing lots of different kinds of roles. So it started, besides Lost Heart, like I told you, I played a defense attorney in this very heavy film called Man's Best Friend. And that's on Amazon Prime too. And then I played a polygamist in another film, like one of the fundamentalist Mormons that were practicing polygamy. So, and then I played a king, and then I played a prison guard.
Fitting,
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. So that I'm loving playing the diversity of roles that I'm getting to play. But like I said, it was when you asked what was the toughest hardship that you had to get over, back when I left, it was like 1980, 81 when I was off of when I left Happy Days. So those the next few years. And one thing that helped a lot too is I did some theater during that time, because that keeps you, keeps you sharp and keeps that. There's nothing
Fire,
like
fresh.
yeah, and keep that muscle going. Keep like working out
Yeah,
going to the gym,
stretching
like,
your abilities.
Yeah.
What do you think about typecasting today as opposed to back then? Because it's still happening. People who play like superhero roles, they're like, oh my god, and like the guy who played Aladdin, he cannot get any roles. They're like typecasting him as Aladdin now.
Yeah, I imagine it still happens. I guess it depends on what role you break out in, and some are harder to shed than others. Some are tougher. The one thing that's that's better now, easier and better, is that back then when I was doing the show, if you were on a TV show, it was very, very rare and hard for you then all of a sudden to be doing films. Back then it was like, TV and film, it was like almost a separate kind of a class. It was like you were in a different class. And the actors didn't think that way, but that was the sort of the industry sort of, they only wanted to cast people who were known from films. Today, the film actors are doing TV shows.
Yeah.
The actors in television shows are doing films. Is like a bridge between the mediums, where back then it was much harder, and very few people made that transition.
So definitely, what would you like to see improved in Hollywood standards, since you're clearly quite very passionate about this part?
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think, like I said, they are opening up more so to people being able to play, not only TV and film, but also different kinds of characters. I think that there's a little bit more of an open mind. So, but like you pointed out, it's still the typecasting still does exist. So, I guess just to give more people like that a little bit more of a chance somehow. It's very hard though, because the competition is so fierce. There's so many people trying out for these roles that's why it makes it hard for them to. Sometimes they'll take the easier way out, and it's very easy to cast this person because he's known for that, and it's very easy to cast this person. It's a little bit harder for them to cast somebody that's not.
If they
go out on a limb.
Yeah, if they saw people for their ability, what they could do, I think that would be a really nice change. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah. If they're a little more open to letting people have a chance to show something different other than what they're known for. Yes. Yeah.
Don, this has been incredible. We know you have something new coming. So is there anything else you could say about that? Or no?
Well, there are. I've directed 3 independent films. Really? Yeah. One is called some time ago. One is called The Last Best Sunday. It's on Tubi. You can watch it. It's a really very nice dramatic film. 2 teenagers, male and female. It's kind of a interesting, almost a little Romeo and Juliet kind of a story, and really, really great acting in it. The Last Best Sunday, and then I did one called Moola, Moola, which I cast and gave her first film role. It was Shailene Woodley, who you probably know who Shailene is. So she was 13 when she did Moola for me, and now I'm attached to direct 2 films, and we're trying to get it set up, get all the money, the financing, and we're getting closer. So I'm hoping. I can't talk about what they are yet, but I'm excited. One of them is actually, there was a post about it on Facebook. It's called Trauma Land. So if you look on my Facebook page under Don, most people will see that a little bit, learn a little bit about it, and it'll be a great film. So I'm hoping to do that. And on the acting side, I just found out today I won an award at
What?
There's something in New York called the New York International Film Awards.
Congratulations.
New York International Film Awards. They have it every month. They get submissions from all over. And I was in a piece called, it's part of a series that we're trying to get going called Viral Vignettes. And one of the episodes of Viral Vignettes was called Scrambled. And I did it with a wonderful actress named Gail O'Grady. And it was submitted and accepted into the for January, the New York International Film Awards. And I just found out today that I won Best Actor and the comedy, and we won Best Duo. Me and Gail O'Grady won Best Acting Duo. And I also directed that one, and I won for Best Film for directing comedy. So that was
you should be like more like excited. Oh my goodness! Congratulations to you and your cast partner. That's incredible.
Yeah. But, unfortunately, I can't tell people where to watch it because it's in the festivals, so it's not available online yet. But hopefully soon. I
mean, I'm working on my own thing actually, called Project Bullyish. It's on online bullying. It's
great!
A documentary that I too submit. So
wonderful.
Yeah, I'll send you a little bit about it.
Yeah, please do. Project
Bullyish. Yeah, I mean, I have been. There's been a lot of just uncouth. That's what we'll call them, Don. Uncouth, not very nice people. But I think the bigger message of online harassment, which happens to actors, musicians a lot today with fake accounts, needs to be brought to the forefront. And I want to be a part of that change on doing that.
Well, good.
So
good for
I
you.
Too
That's wonderful that you're involved in that. Good for you. That's terrific.
Good for you, Don. The awards, though, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
But what you're doing that's very important. So big kudos to you.
Kudos. Thank you, Don, so much, fellow redhead. Goodbye.
Yes. Bye, Lillee Jean. Thanks for having me.
Of course.